All right, guys, don't be freaked out. Yes, this is a beef heart. For you hunters out there, probably not a big deal, but for most of you, this is going to be kind of freaky. Don't let it freak you out. This is some of the most delicious meat you can get. It does have a very iron-rich flavor. You cook it properly and prep it properly, it's absolutely delicious. We're going to do a few things to cut the ironness down a little bit, but the texture of this heart meat is so good. You're gonna have to try this. Now this is a whole heart, my first time doing a whole heart. I'm gonna cut this into steaks. I've bought heart steaks already pre-cut, so you're gonna have to bear with me during the trimming process. You can see all this fat on the outside of the heart. Then inside, see all where the valves and veins and everything are. Just take a look at right here. You can see this beautiful meat, and remember, the heart is a muscle. This is like tenderloin-esque style meat. Very, very fine grains, but again, you do have that irony flavor to it. But like I said, we're going to prep it so it doesn't have that. So let's go ahead, trim this up. And again, like I said, please bear with me because I have never trimmed up a whole heart. So feel free to roast me in the comments, or for you guys who have trimmed whole heart, please go ahead, give me some pointers. But the pieces of meat that I've gotten as heart steaks didn't have any fat on it, so I'm gonna go ahead and trim this fat down. And there's a layer of silver skin on the outside of the heart as well. Again, I don't know if I should be starting on the inside or with this fat on the outside, but like I said, first time, so we're gonna start with the fat on the outside here. And I'm gonna try and make some steaks out of this. And I want to take this silver skin off the outside too. Deal with that after the fat. This is all fat here. Just going to trim all that off. My thing's going to be the veins on the inside. Not sure how I'm going to deal with that. So most of the fat on the outside of that. This chunk here. Yeah, this is, I'm not sure because there's a bunch of, see these big gashes in here. What I'm gonna do, so I'm gonna cut this right here. Looks like a nice piece we'll get off there. Save that to trim up. I want to get all these veins and everything out, so I'm gonna just kind of strip a layer off the top. I have no idea what I'm doing here, so I'm gonna see how it turns out. We're gonna get some steaks out of this for sure. I know that. Still more veins on the inside. I don't know if I should be cutting out all this inside stuff. The steaks I usually get are probably about that big, maybe that thick. So I'm trying to see where they're pulling that from. Probably up here. So let me try and get some of this silver skin off the top. And then we'll just start making some steaks and kind of see where they go from there. I think leaving a little fat on's okay. But like I said, the pieces I have gotten did not have any fat. I believe it was Porter Road that I've gotten heart steaks from. And they were very, very good, like I'm saying. And I buy half cows from a local farmer. That's why I have this whole heart. I think I made out pretty good with the last half cow I got because I got the heart and the tongue out of it. And as you probably know, there's one heart and one tongue per cow. So my half came with the heart and the tongue, probably because most people don't want that stuff, but I love the tongue. All right, guys, I lost you there. Camera died. I get into the cutting, and then I look up, camera's dead, so missed a little bit, not much. So let me show you what I did here. I basically took that piece, had all the veins in the bottom. Let me try and put it back together for you like this. So I took that big chunk, and I basically just cut it in half like that to try and clean up the veiny parts in the bottom. You can see it's all sliced up. It's got the little veins sticking out of it, so we got rid of that. Then I got left with this nice steak. There's still a couple marks here, not going to be an issue. But look at that. That looks like a nice steak right there, doesn't it? See, beautiful grains. This stuff is super tender. It's beautiful meat. So this is going to be the steak we are going to use today. Now the rest of this stuff, I'm probably going to, depending on what it is, if it's clean meat, might chop it up, add it to some chili. But I also want to try and grind this up with some brisket that I have done. and make like a heart ground beef. I think it'll add a nice texture to it. And again, this is super nutritious stuff here. So this will be good in the ground meat. This, could probably get a little steak out of it, but again, I got my one good steak here. That's what we're gonna use. The rest of this good meat, I'm gonna grind up, put it into my burgers. I'm gonna give that a test, see how it goes. So that's the plan for that. And here is our nice heart steak. Trimmed as much fat off this side as I could. Just double check in, make sure there's nothing weird going on in here. I don't see anything. Outside looks good. So there we go. Let me clean up all these trimmings and then we'll come back. I'm going to show you how to prep this heart to make a delicious steak out of it that you are going to love. All right, so the key to the heart steak is a marinade, and the key ingredient is balsamic vinegar. Now, as you can see, I don't have enough. I'm not smart enough to check to see if I had enough vinegar. Usually always have balsamic vinegar, but that's all right, because I have this balsamic vinegar glaze, which will work. So now I won't have to add any sugar or honey like I usually like to add, because this already has some good, this has good sweetness to it. You just cook down the vinegar and the grapes in there so it gets nice and thick and sweet. But you want balsamic vinegar, need a little olive oil. You could use avocado oil. Now I'm not going to need as much marinade because I'm going to be vacuum sealing this. But if you're just going to be throwing it in a bowl or something, you might want a little extra. I'm going to do a touch of salt. After it's marinated, I'm going to add some seasoning to it anyway, but that was a huge chunk that just fell in there, so maybe no salt. Black pepper. Keeping it simple here. And some garlic powder. The balsamic vinegar is really what's going to help cut down the ironness of this steak. It's going to kind of blend together with that. So that's why the balsamic vinegar is really the key ingredient here. It's also going to give it a nice dark color. And with Halloween around, oh my God, I can't talk today. With Halloween around the corner, this would be a great Halloween dinner. Pick yourself up a heart steak, tell the family, we're having heart tonight. They're going to love it, I'm telling you. It's going to freak them out. Maybe not tell them at first. Be like, I'm cooking a nice steak. They eat it. Oh, what is this? It's heart. And they might freak out. But like I said, if you don't want to go through the trimming process of all this, go on Porter Road. They usually have heart steaks. You can pick them up there. It'll be a little smaller than this, but maybe you get 2 steaks. I'm going to give this a mix. Preferably don't use a knife, but now, like I said, I'm going to be vacuum sealing this. Someone's mowing their lawn. That's great. So I'm using the WEVAC vacuum chamber sealer for this. I like it because it's got a marinade function. I'll vacuum seal this or vacuum chamber it, get it in there. Then there's a marinade function on there that pulls this into a vacuum. It'll pull the meat and everything into a vacuum to a set temp. I usually do about a set time. I usually do about 12 minutes. And so the meat will be under a vacuum for 12 minutes. It allows all that marinade to penetrate, really speeds up the marinating process. I'm still going to do this overnight. So I'm going to throw it in here. Let's just do that. Throw it in here. Dump our marinade. Let's not make a mess this time. Dump our marinade in. Then I'm going to vacuum seal it real quick. All right, got it vacuum sealed. I think I said WEVAC vacuum sealer. It's a WEVAC vacuum chamber sealer. I have a WEVAC warming cabinet. That's why the confusion. So now just gonna get this spread out, mix it all together. All nice like that. Then this is good to just go ahead and throw it in the fridge if you want. But like I said, I'm gonna use that marinade function on there. Pull this into a vacuum for about 12 minutes or so. Then it's going in my fridge, marinate overnight. Then we'll take it out tomorrow. Gonna grill it up, just like you would a steak, and this is going to be good. I'm telling you guys, heart is something you're gonna want to try. And like I said, check out Porter Road. Pretty sure that's where I got them before. You might also be able to find it on Wild Forks, maybe not. I just know that Wild Forks has a lot of different cuts of meat. Porter Road was definitely where I had picked it up before. If you want to try heart, check out Porter Road and pick up a couple steaks from them to try out. They got some good quality meat, so you can pick up a few other things while you're there, and you won't have to deal with this trimming process. But if you have a whole heart, if you're like me and you picked up a half cow, tell them you want the heart, get a nice steak out of it, and you can use the rest for chili or ground beef or whatever you want. It's definitely worth it. I'm gonna get this marinated, throw it in the fridge, and I'll see you guys tomorrow to grill it up. But you don't have to wait, so let's jump ahead, get this out, and start grilling it. All right, so we are out at the Monument Grill's propane grill. This is a fantastic propane grill. I've got these two burners on, and I also have this sear burner. I'm gonna turn it on now, which is great for steaks. I've got it at about medium high-ish. Let's go ahead and get our heart steak. The steak's been marinating overnight. Try and get most of that marinade off. And we're just gonna go ahead, throw it right down there. Get a nice sear on it. Gotta watch the flare-ups on this because we got all that oil in there. Move this back a little bit. So we're probably gonna go 1 to 2 minutes per side. Check temp, and then turn these burners down and finish it off at around 130-ish is a good temp for this. It smells great. Balsamic vinegar marinade is going to be delicious. As you can see, looks like a normal steak. Nothing special about it, and you cook it up like a normal steak as well. So we're right around a minute, and that looks good. So we're going to go ahead and flip this. See those nice sear marks we got on there. We'll do another minute on this side. I'm going to kill the heat. We'll check temp. You can see that sear zone does a great job of searing these steaks. I love this Monument grill. This is the Mesa series that comes with that sear zone. Did a review video on this. Great grill, can't say enough. I'll make sure to leave the link for the video at the end of this. All right, that's another minute. Let me give it a check. I'm gonna let it go a little longer, 30 seconds or so. All right, that looks good. Flip it over. Turn this heat down to low on all these. I'm gonna give it a temperature check in the thick part here. All right, so we are at about 80 degrees right there in the center. So we need some more time. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna turn this heat back up. Try and get more of a sear on it. Get us a nice crust on there. So I'll do another, I'll do this side, flip it again, do the other side, and we'll check temp again. That looks good. Flip it over. Now we're getting a nice crust on there. Give it another check. About 100 degrees, 99, 98. Still need some more time. Want to get more of a crust on that side. This side's got a nice crust, but the other side's lacking a little bit. Really get this thing caramelized. See how it's looking now? Pretty good. Give it another flip. You can see it does kind of do this thing where it peels a little bit up. That's normal. About 102 there. So we're coming up. That's pretty good. I'm going to turn this heat down, turn the sear off, turn both these burners on low. And then I'm going to kind of just close this and let it come up to temp. So I'll see you when it's finished. All right, so it's been another couple minutes. See, we got beautiful crust on there. Let's see where we are for temp. Right around 122, 124. That's going to be good. I'm going to pull this off, let it rest, and we will slice it up. All right, so as you can see, simple cook, simple marinade, special cut of meat though. So pretty much cook it up like a steak. I'm telling you, this is a delicious cut of meat, but let me slice it up and give it a try. Sadly, you can't try it unless you go out and buy one, but I'll kind of show you how the texture looks and everything like that. So first off, see the nice crust we got on there. You want to get a nice crispy crust on here, adds to the flavor, but let me go ahead and get some slices off this. So there is kind of a grain, but not really. So it's not too big a deal which way you slice it. I like to cut them semi-thin because they do have a strong flavor, but I'm not cutting it thin because it's a tough cut of meat. This is some tender stuff here. That should be good. Check that out. Nice rich red color in there. Very juicy. Nice slice there, and you can see pulls right apart. So I know how good this is going to be, but let me go ahead and give it a try. It's got a really nice sweetness to it, and you want that crust on there because it gives it a nice, you know, crispy exterior, and then the nice soft center of the heart. That vinegar marinade really is fantastic. This just tastes like a good piece of meat, and then on the back end it kind of feels like you licked a penny or something. It's got that irony taste, you know, but you can't really notice it at all because if you gave this to someone, they're just going to think it's the vinegar that's giving them that tang kind of feeling with that irony, minerally taste. But not gamey or anything like that, just tastes like good steak. Crust on there is great though. But again, give this a try. Don't be scared of it. Very mild flavor. It's not like organ meat. It's very steak-like. Do the balsamic marinade, and that will make this a delicious cut of meat. Like I said, Halloween's around the corner. This would be awesome for a Halloween party. Break out some heart. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to give it a like. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe right over here. I'll leave a couple videos over here, including the Monument Grills review video, so be sure to check that out. But most importantly, get out there and smoke or grill something good.